Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever in the world you are. I'm Greg Schott, and we are once again inviting a very special guest onto the broadcast. We just had Case explaining to us EAFC. We talked a little bit about the game, we talked a little bit about the competitive format, and also some of the players that she's expecting to do well. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce BATESON87. He's a content creator for EAFC, and just before I give him a second to introduce himself, we're obviously going to focus on the game and a discussion around whether or not FC players are considered gamers or not. Before we get to the juicy stuff, Bateson, am I saying that right?
It is.
Where are you from? What do you do?
So I'm from the UK, northwest England. I have been around a long time. I used to have hair when I first started. I don't have any anymore. But yeah, I've been primarily FC/FIFA all these years and following the pro scene from start to here we are now.
Oh, fantastic. I love, just before you sat down, I think you mentioned been around before the pro scene, which I love.
Yeah.
Is 87 a special year? Is it your birthday?
It is my birthday, yeah.
Congratulations. I too am 87. In fact, yesterday was my birthday. So
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. So, as two gentlemen that have seen a lot of industry growth, shall we say, what is your take on the development of FC? It had a different name prior. The scene has grown.
Yeah.
I just recently learned how many E-leagues there are, E-Bundesliga, E-Champions League, things like that. So how has it been for you as somebody that's literally grown up and experienced it firsthand?
So seeing the start of it, it was primarily just individual players, not really associated with any teams. And now we're seeing teams, whether it be esports, for example, Falcons, and now we have leagues, like Liverpool, it's my favourite team, seeing the likes of Tex represent them in previous years. We've got teams in La Liga, absolutely.
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Can I ask really quickly, have you been interested in the esports wider scene before FC, or have you kind of been introduced to it with FC?
Introduced to it with FC, but I also have kept an eye on the likes of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the old schoolers from there. I know League of Legends. One of my close friends, Toby, he follows the League of Legends, and that's...
See, one of the things that I find fascinating, as one of the gentlemen that has been, like, we're lucky enough that we grew up with the tech the first time that fiber internet became a thing, and seeing PCs and stuff. And in my opinion, FC is one of the games that is late to the esports industry, but I think it's because of how closely tied it is with traditional football. The industry's grown up. So the question I have, do FC players consider themselves gamers?
I think they do, yeah. It's whether they want to be a pro or a casual. They're the two definitions. Obviously, within inside Ultimate Team, we have the champions, which is a place where people like to get that competitive edge and see how good they are, and then the people want to take it next level. The people at the next level, the pro players, I don't know if they're gamers.
Got it.
But the people who pick up the game every couple of hours or for a few days every week, I would say they're more the gamers than
what would you call the FC pros that are here on stage?
Absolutely brilliant in this game, and they deserve to be here. They are nowhere near my level.
Oh, that's amazing. That brings me a lot of joy. Okay, let's talk about some of the content that you make. What type of stuff is it explicitly? I'm not somebody that consumes football. Born in South Africa, we still call it soccer in South Africa. So that's how, yes, I'm aware. I'm apologizing for that. But tell me a little bit more about the type of content you create and what you're doing at EWC.
So I'm someone who's always grown up with trading cards, whether it be collecting stickers and things like that. And with inside FC, we have Ultimate Team, which is what I enjoy, and building different teams, using some of my favourite players from one team and merging them into another team, and trying different types of versions out of them. So it's been a passion of mine, which I've done. I just like building crazy teams. And
out of interest, okay, so tell me, who's your favourite item then? Like, if we talk about it that way. For viewers at home, item is effectively the players that you can pick in game. The version of EAFC that's played here is called Ultimate Team. So which items are on your Ultimate Team?
So my favourite is Virgil van Dijk. He's got a 99 rated version because it's coming to the end of the game. He's absolutely brilliant. And I also do like Selma Bakker. She's helped me a lot in defence over the year. But hands down, my favourite is the new Gerrard. Steven Gerrard, having him rocking in midfield.
Okay, I'm going to pretend I understand.
Yeah.
Do you know if these items are being used by the pros themselves? Do you have any insight into what they're...
I imagine we should see the 99 Virgil van Dijk in everybody's team.
You reckon?
Oh, easily.
Okay, I love that.
As for the other two, Probably not.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Look, I want to bring up the individual players that are competing here. We're not going to do a deep dive on the tournament, but what I'd love to know is like something that our FC expert was talking about earlier was how different players can win different tournaments, and we see quite a lot of, let's say, volatility up at the top.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say there's a lot of events as well, the individual leagues, then the Euros, then the World Championship, then the World Cup. So are any of these names familiar to you? Are any of maybe the clubs that they represent, stand out? And as somebody that obviously creates content around this, who stands out to you that could give me somebody to...
So I actually have a few friends, like Mark, for example, of Team Footwiz. I was swimming with him the other day and in the gym with him. Anders, he's a guy which is lighting up the scene. His mannerisms, his reactions is absolutely brilliant.
I've heard he's a little bit of like a Call of Duty reaction guy, like how he plays it. Like when he was look, listen, I say
we're old school.
I'm saying a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody's going to be Call of Duty unless you're Call of Duty. But has he got that fire in him?
He has the fire. Yeah. He has the discipline as well, which is nice to see. He's the person who I do think on his day can take it all at this current moment. PH Zin as well. He's the Brazilian favourite. Recently joined the new team. So I know a little bit.
Listen, you're dropping bombs, and I'll tell you this as well. We asked our show to explicitly prepare stuff. You pretty much name dropped the exact same ones. So
all right, that's perfect.
Kudos there. I mean, you're in tune with this. I'm hearing that these young guns are kind of excited about the 9-minute halves. What do you make of that for this event? Best of 1, 9 minutes a half.
Yeah, so that one's going to throw a spanner in the works for them. I'll be interested to see how that is, because usually there is a lot of slow play. Yeah. Whereas this seems they're going to have to get stuff done very, very quickly if they want to get through.
How different is that to like a 6-minute half? I'm somebody that hasn't played, right? So I can't quite appreciate the variance.
Yeah. So 6-minute half, you plan for a long game. You're very cautious with the clock, whereas this one, it seems if they can get back in the game very, very quick, and it can change around quickly as well, which is...
Ooh, so would you advise a more defensive strategy or more aggressive?
Oh, I like aggressive.
Yeah,
I like. We all like goals.
I'm exactly the same. Okay, talk to me then about traveling. Obviously, EAFC, you're going to be able to see a lot of football stadiums. You're obviously going to see a lot of events where I think there's a lot of natural crossover. Yeah. I've been quite jealous as somebody that's a long-time esports competitive viewer participant to see traditional football clubs having EAFC tournaments in their pitches, on their grounds. Honestly, it pisses me off because I'm jealous. Yeah. But what do you think of seeing these arenas and seeing this type of boulevard? Because EAFC is like a guest amongst all of the other games, right?
Yeah, it is. So I've never been to Saudi Arabia before. I have never. I didn't know what I was picturing. Yes. But as soon as I hit that entrance, saw the massive buildings, seeing lots of people around and hype for it, it's fantastic to see. And so last year I actually did work at home locally working on this, and I was so jealous of the people out here. So to finally get out here is absolutely unreal. We haven't been in the arena yet, but straight after this we are heading on into
I'm so sad you're here before the game starts. So the games for EAFC start in 20 minutes. Nice. I will say this to you, that the way that the arena is set up over in the Qiddiya arena, it's 1v1. They're in the middle of the hall, grandstands fleeting up, and it's quite powerful, right? You know, 2 players sitting with their own screens, staring one another down. Look, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Could I ask you to give a little shout out to your community, to fans, to friends? Camera number 1. Yep. It'll be the last thing that we'll be saying just before we send you to actually watch the games.
No, thank you very much. So Bold FC, I know you guys are watching this like we were last year. I'm here to have a look around, enjoy myself, and hopefully you guys can learn some tips, because I know a lot of you guys aren't at this level, but hopefully you can be in the future. But thank you very much, and enjoy your time watching.
I'm going to formally apologize. Did you say Bold FC?
Yeah, I don't know why they call me that.
What? And that's your club? Your
yeah. We're a unique bunch of people. I have brought a representation with me today who's a part of it.
I will say this, the viewers at home aren't aware of this, but his team of 4 people are here, all of them bald. Everyone's behind the cameras. I will say this, BATESON, thank you so much. I actually really appreciate the ammunition, the conversation points you give me about gamers. Yep. It's one that we're going to keep having on our show. Just a quick show here to the camera. We got a little Week 7 shirt you can only get from us. I'm going to ask you to sign this on your way out. Everyone that joins the show, that's been a guest on the show, sign this. We'll give it away to some fans and viewers in just a little bit. So for one, just quick second. The final player that Case managed to find yesterday was Johnny from Fnatic. Let's hear from him in the ALJ interview.
I'm joined here with Johnny, who is